And thank you on behalf of the WordPress.com team for joining us for today's quick start on WooCommerce. We're really excited to offer this up today. Couple quick notes. We're recording today's webinar, of course, so that we can share it to you. After the webinar, you'll get an email that includes the recording, also a survey that we appreciate your feedback on, and also a discount code for those of you who join us for the workshop today. And for Zoom, please use the Q&A feature. We have myself and my colleague Fernando who will be taking your questions live throughout the workshop in Q&A, and we will save some of those questions to ask to Dennis later on in the workshop. Also, check out wordpress.com/webinars. Check out our offerings for each day of the week. Tomorrow we'll be doing the Quick Start 101 in Espanol, so join us for that for our Spanish-speaking audience. And then on Monday, we'll start over again with the Getting Started 101. So feel free to register, and we'd love to see you every time that you join us. And with that, I'm excited to start today's WooCommerce 101 and introduce my colleague, Dennis. Dennis, thanks for joining us. Take it away.
Sure. Thanks for joining, everyone. I'm Dennis. I live in Italy, work from Italy. I have been with Automatic for the last 1.5 years, and I have been working with many customers, helping them one-on-ones, and I'm so excited to show you things around today and getting you started with creating your store. So the first thing that I would do is we will pretend that we have a nice site already built in, and we want to add a store functionality. So on WordPress.com, we can go to the advanced dashboard, which is WP Admin, where we would go to plugins, add new, and we would add a WooCommerce plugin, which I already have installed, pre-installed to save a little bit of time for us. And just recently, WooCommerce introduced a new onboarding experience. So I will take you through that to show you the advantage of setting up things with WooCommerce the new way. So the first, we'll skip some of the advanced things. So we'll just go further and filling in just the address for our imaginary store, at least for me, but not for you. And would go further. It will ask a couple of questions what we want to set up as a store. I will say we'll try to start with some physical products and also some digital products, so we can see the various things of how we can set those up. In fact, it will ask us if we want to sell specific kind of products, and if we ever need, we can also offer virtual products like one-on-one sessions, so you can explore those as well. Would go further, asking how many products we have, maybe just up to 10. It will also ask if we want to already install some extensions that allow you, for example, to sell products on Facebook directly, or following up with the clients via MailChimp. We don't need those at the early stage, so we'll skip those. This stage, we can keep our theme without disrupting our site, but let me show you that there is this free theme called Storefront, which is specifically designed for WooCommerce. So it works great specifically with it. So we'll choose this one. So we'll switch the site over to that theme. And from here, the new onboarding experience is actually great. So to add a new product, we'll just follow the checklist. So to add a new product, we'll give it a title, and we can follow the hints, the prompts here. So it will be a t-shirt as an example. For us, we will add some description here if needed. If not, we can skip to the other things that we can do. It's a simple product this time. So the only thing that we would need to set is actually price. And if we want to manage specific, the inventory, so the stock for this t-shirt, we would set up, for example, one. We have only one of those. We'll go to set a product image, which we can do. Let me grab one image for that. Here you go. Would upload an image for that product, and we'll be able to set it up. We can also set some additional images. So already have some of those for example, to show different sides of the product. One important thing is to actually set up a category. So we do have a clothing in this case. So we'll set that category. And we're basically ready to publish the first product. And we'll hit publish. And I'm prompted to do the next step. So we'll go through that. Again, it's the best experience to just follow the lead because the new onboarding experience is actually great. So it will take me back to the checklist so I can go further and set my thing. So whenever I'm setting up a store, it's generally recommended to set a new homepage for that. So I will do that. For now, I will add a logo just to show that my store is branded, and I'll go back and I can also set up we are live so we can complete the task. There are a couple of more things that we can set up. So the easiest way to set up the shipping is from here. We can set, just to get started, we can set a flat rate shipping for US as $10 and maybe $25 for the rest of the world. Some options are just optional, so we'll skip through those. And of course, the important step is to set up the payment. So there are a lot of payment options available. You have already some of them pre-selected. I will go with Stripe for now, but you can check out the other ones. Most of them are free, so you can check if you need to do anything extra. Setting up taxes is a separate topic, so I'll skip that for now. And I would go to settings, and just to check that my payment options are added. So I can see that Stripe added a lot of those. I just need to activate those. But since it requires a little bit of time to set up the actual Stripe account, so let me just do a quick thing. I will accept cash on delivery as a payment options, and I will save that. With that done, what we can do, let's add a different kind of product. Let's add a digital product, which will be different, right? So poster digital, something like this. To set it up, I would set downloadable and also virtual as a product. I can set a different price, maybe a lower one. And here I have, for the downloadable product, I have an option to select which file I want users to be able to download. So it will be maybe this nice product here. So in that case, this is the only thing that I need to do. I will just assign a different category, digital, add new category, and we should be ready to go. The only thing that I will do as well is I will set just product image so it looks nicer, and I'll click publish. Now with that done, if we go to see how our store looks like, just a second as it loads, click my site, view site, and this is how my store looks already after just a couple of minutes of setting things up. So I just have my logo. As I scroll down, I have my home page. I already have a few items here, which I already added there. So we can already test it out. So we can click add to cart. We can view cart. It works right away. It recognizes that I'm from a certain location, so it applies tentative shipment here. Proceed to checkout. I fill in my details, last name. I will set up US, set street 1, Los Angeles, California. And as I do that, you can see that the shipping changed to 10 because we set the US shipping address. So we can place the order. We have currently only one option, but we can set the, or sorry about that, wrong zip. So that is a good thing that happens. So it will warn me if it's not, we are still missing something. Billing phone. Okay, we'll set up the phone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Place the order, and the order should go through, and the user will see a confirmation of that. So of course, we did it as a user. So what we'll see a confirmation here. We have the shipping address, the billing address, and let's go to see what happens in the dashboard as a store owner. If I go to WooCommerce orders, I will see that there is a new order here, processing. So I will open it up and see what needs to be done. So it is a physical product, so I need to ship it, right? So what I can do once I ship it, let's say the next day, shipped, I can add a private note just for myself. And then I can also send a note to the customer and saying, and maybe sharing the tracking number with them. So I can click and send that note. And with that done, once I've sent the order, it is now completed, and I can click update, and we should be good to go. as for and this order is now completed and we're good to go. So we can go back to our homepage and see, sorry about that, see how it looks like now. So we can do the same with the digital product. It will work more or less the same way. The only thing, there is no shipment, so the user will be able to just complete the order and download the file directly. Since we have cash on delivery, we will not be able to see it live, but once you set any payment method besides cash on delivery, you will be able to see that live. The other thing that we could do is, of course, changing a little bit our homepage. So if we go to pages, it now created a couple of automatic pages. When we installed WooCommerce, it created these pages that you can leave just in place. And we can just go to homepage and we can edit out some of the blocks that have been added there. Again, they are placeholder blocks. They work right out of the box. But of course, maybe there is something that you don't need, or maybe there's something that you would want to add on top of that. Sorry, that's not our homepage. This is our homepage, since the WooCommerce created a new homepage for us. So there might be some hiccups here, but you will be able to correct those by just clicking 3 dots. So there are some extra blocks that are not needed. They're just there to show you the possibilities of that. So this is how you can remove those. And once you remove those, there is one extra cool one, which is a featured product. So for example, we added 2 products and we want to feature the t-shirt in a nice way. This is how it would look like. And I can change a few settings on the right to change that, the call to action button. And if I need more on the homepage, I can also type in Woo, and there is a whole group of different blocks that I can add. So I can decide if I want to showcase the top rated ones, the newest products, and you can explore that. But that is already working for you, so you can keep things as they are. So we updated that. And that should be it for you to get started. Of course, there are a couple of more things that you could do. And that is the customizer option, which offers you ways to customize the various aspects of your site. But there is one specific for the WooCommerce. As soon as you install WooCommerce, independently from the other options, you have the option to customize the store notice. You can customize how your store looks like, your shop section, which is created automatically. So one thing that we're missing in the menu is actually the shop. We can add that just in a second, but here you can customize additional things. And also the checkout. So you can customize what fields are needed or not, so you can hide some of those. So to simplify the options for the users, so it will be a better experience for them, maybe a shorter time filling in the orders. That should be it for the most part, but I will also just show you how to change the menu. We already have the primary menu. Some of the elements might be there that we don't need. So for example, and some might be missing. So we would be adding the shop page here. Click Save. And as we see, the shop has been added here. And when I click that, I'm navigating to the section where the shop loads all of my products. And one last thing that I wanted to show is the possibility to add widgets on that shop page or also on other pages. Again, if I type in Woo here, since we installed Woo, I can allow users to, for example, filter the products by price. Or I can add many more of those. There are, again, but just by typing Woo, you would be able to see a lot of products being added there. You can add the ratings and other things. So you would be able to do that and allow users to select things really easily. That should be it to get started with this store in just 15 minutes, I guess.
Dennis, incredible, incredible. And I got to say, there's some awesome questions coming in. Fernando's doing an amazing job. You can read through the answered tab of the Q&A to see some of the questions that have been answered. And we saved a couple to ask Dennis here. Dennis covered a ton of ground in a short period of time. We already know there's demand for more sessions on WooCommerce alone. So stay tuned. We promise to have other upcoming opportunities to continue to learn Woo with our experts such as Dennis. But while we're here, Dennis, let's a couple questions came in about, for example, customizing the logo for your store. Right now you have the WooCommerce logo, and then from there we'll go into customizing the way products look and feel a bit. So if you don't mind, start with showing us exactly how you'd customize the design of the store itself, starting with the logo.
Sure. So we would go back to the customizer, and here in the site identity, of course, it's harder to maybe to discover that way. So I can just click this pencil here and it will navigate me exactly where I can change or remove the logo. So I can change it to something else. Let's say we like this other logo better. And I can also crop it to my own needs. Generally, the PNG files work best because they have the transparency. So you could do that on any background. So generally preparing a PNG file with transparency is the best option. And this is how it would look like for me. And for the store itself, one way for customizing that is through here. So I can change, for example, how many products I want to show per row or how many rows I want to have. So I can change that. I can also show the categories, not only the product. So I can do something like this. And for each category, I can actually set an image. I haven't done that, but you can do that. And so people will be able to first browse through categories and then go to the products, or actually see both of those. And you can change how the images look like. So also changing them, having them uncropped or not, and also the checkout that we've already seen. These are some of the options for the customization. But of course, you have more by just customizing how your homepage looks like. So you've seen the various products, the various blocks of content that we can add. So we can customize this right on the front page, which is generally good to have sort of like a welcome page and nudge users to go into the store from the home page instead of discovering the shop option itself.
Excellent, thank you. And on that note, we'll take a deeper look at products themselves for a couple of questions that we had. And then Dennis will zoom out, and we've had a couple of questions about plans and payments and a few other related topics. So a couple of questions in a row about products. Jane asked if image sizes are adjustable on product pages. And then Tara asked about setting up drop downs, for example, for t-shirt sizes. So if you don't mind going into your Woo t-shirt, which is a great looking t-shirt, by the way, and customizing, maybe playing with the image a bit and showing how you'd add sizes to that.
Sure. And on that note, just notice that it's out of stock because we just ordered that t-shirt, so that calculates automatically. So the image sizes depend on the theme that you pick, and also WooCommerce allows you to have some advanced customization using some snippets of code that would allow you to change how big the image itself is and maybe add in some additional functionality. So that is one thing that can be done. And the other one, can you remind me the second one that was asked?
Just playing with the image size itself. And you showed, I think, adding a couple images of a product. Can you resize those images easily as well?
Sure. So that could be done in the media section. So we could do that from here. Generally, it's best done in the WP admin. You have a little bit more control over there. So if we go to media library through here and we load one of these, we would be able to edit those some of those images through here. Let me check. Not directly through here. So the edit image. Here you go. So from here, you can, for example, resize them, scale them to a different size. But of course, the how it appears, how big it appears here depends on Woo itself. So that needs to be changed a little bit programmatically. So with some additional snippets of code that can be changed, because that doesn't depend on specifically on the theme that you picked, but on WooCommerce itself. So it has sort of like good balance between showing it nicely in the preview, but also having this zoom feature that you can sort of like familiar, like happens on Amazon and other e-commerce stores.
Great. Okay, cool. Shifting gears just a little bit, a couple questions about other things you might be able to sell on WooCommerce and your recommendations, Dennis. A couple questions about selling ebooks. Santa Lane asked, would you say Woo is a good solution for selling ebooks? And there was a follow-up question that Joe asked, which is, if you do sell ebooks on WooCommerce, can you make it so that there's a download available through your website?
Absolutely. So that is exactly what we did with the digital poster. So whenever we create a digital product, which is also a virtual one, it's basically a file that you're selling. So if you have a file EPUB or MOBI or PDF file for your book that you want to sell, you would just make sure that you create so we can maybe change it to ebook like this. And what we do, from here, we just pick the specific file that we need. I don't have a PDF file from here, but it doesn't really matter. So we can change it to any file that we have here. And that file will become available only once the user completes the order. So they purchase, and as soon as they do that, it becomes available as a download. So no one will be able to download the file otherwise. And of course, it definitely helps selling directly because you're not paying the fees to the platforms who sell books for you. So you're saving on that commission, and you can sell them for whatever price you wish. You can set up a different sale price if you wish. You can also set a download limit if you ever need that, and also an expiry for that. Not needed, but again, those functionalities are there, so you can explore those.
Excellent, thank you.
Sure.
Again, great questions continue to come in. A couple more questions about your advice, Dennis, on what you might and might not sell through WooCommerce. Joey asked, would you use WooCommerce to sell consulting?
Sure, that is another thing that you could do. So if we go to WooCommerce, this would be already sort of like enough for us to sell something virtual, which people would be able to purchase out of the box. So you just set a virtual thing that you're selling, but you would need just to handle how you want to offer the actual booking process. So for that, since it's a sort of like an advanced functionality, there are extensions in WooCommerce. So if you go to Woo extensions, there are actually a lot of extensions that have been built on top of WooCommerce. So they use WooCommerce as a base, and they extend the functionality. So there is one, for example, bookings. So that is perfect solution, one solution for you to allow users to schedule a specific time slot, book a specific session with you, an appointment, based as a product in WooCommerce. So this is most of them are paid because, of course, they allow you to have advanced functionality, but they also offer you support. So generally, it pays off to have one of these extensions, and you also get a 30 days complete refund on those. So you can try them, pay, and if you're not happy, you can also refund those. But this is something that you could explore. You could click here, and you would be able to read about it. There are generally videos, and there is a great support documentation on both. They are updated, and you get also support on that. So this is how you can sell sessions through WooCommerce. The same goes for the membership type of thing. So if you want to offer users a way to subscribe to some content on your site and give different levels of access to the different content. So think about the premium subscription, light subscriptions, and users would be able to do that by paying a subscription instead of paying one time only. So there are many things here, and you can search for those. So for example, these are just some offered ones, but of course there is more, and many of those are also free. So definitely explore like payment options. We haven't explored those, but these are all supported. So you can see those, the shipping options for other products. Again, I'm getting a little bit off the question, but this is where you would explore the extensions that sort of like enhance the functionality of built-in features of WooCommerce.
Excellent. And we did do a workshop earlier this week on simple payments and recurring payments, which are also available on WordPress.com. Those can be really great options to tackle some services you might offer or recurring payments. Leighton, who I believe was with us yesterday, welcome back, Leighton, asked about taking donations, for example. So there is a variety of options on WordPress.com. The ones that Dennis just walked us through with WooCommerce give you a lot of flexibility with scheduling and with variations of the services you might offer and setting up subscriptions and those sorts of things too. So if in doubt, definitely reach out to our support and happiness engineers and get the best recommendation for exactly what you plan to offer. We want to make sure you're using the right tools on WordPress.com. Shifting gears a little bit, Dennis,
Sure.
as far as plans, can I use WooCommerce with the free plan, or what plan level do I need to use WooCommerce and offer commerce on my site?
Sure. So that is a good question. Since on WordPress.com, you are not getting only the hosting, you're getting also support and other things. That's why you need a plan, at least a business plan for well, to install WooCommerce. WooCommerce itself is free as a plugin, but of course, you're not getting only that. You have the possibility to install any kind of plugin that is compatible with WordPress.com on business plan or on higher plan like eCommerce, which already has some paid extensions from WooCommerce built into. So you're basically saving some money on that because you have some premium extensions there. Of course, the great advantage is that whenever you have business plan, besides getting support through here where you can use contact us and chat with us, you can actually book a one-on-one session, which are two of them are included in both business plan and e-commerce plan. So what you're having today is basically will be a one-on-one session just for your site, setting it up 2 times for half an hour. So that is a great advantage for the business plan that is on WordPress.com.
And on that note, what about fees? Does WooCommerce deduct a fee for using Woo, or is it all baked into the plan that you choose?
So that depends. That is a great question. So that depends on the payment options that you are offering. So let's say you are you're just selling ebook and you want to offer them a payment through check. Then there is no fee, of course, there. The only fees could come into when you add additional payment gateways like Stripe and PayPal and others, which already on standard accounts, even besides e-commerce itself, have and deduct some fees on that. So there's a tiny fee on that, and that depends on the payment gateway that you're using. We're not charging on that on top on what you paid for the plan.
Excellent. Hey, we just have a few minutes left. There's been a couple really good questions. So Dennis, feel free to just answer these or show them if easily. But related questions about both physical goods and virtual goods. Nivea asked if you had different colors of a product, can you create a drop down to select colors?
Right, that was the question that I skipped. So let me show you how to do that. That is actually a great question. So we have a T-shirt here. So let me do that as an example here. So what we can do, we can create an attribute for the product. And so we can add attribute like color, and we can define a couple of colors like this. Again, just following what is suggested through here. And let's say blue, and we click Save Attributes. And what we also checked is that it is visible on the product page. And the other thing that we could do, let's see how it would look like already for us. View product. So the other thing that we would need to do is, since it's a variable product, so it can have those attributes. Let me show you in just a second here, used for variation. So we want to use those colors to create one red T-shirt, one green T-shirt, and one blue T-shirt. So we need to do that manually, but it's a one-time process. And for each variation, we can also set a different stock, of course, because we could have fewer green T-shirts. So let me show you how to do that. The variations will be created automatically as long as you have at least one attribute as we created. So the only thing remaining to do is to actually set the price for those, because it hasn't been set automatically. So we will set those. I'm sorry, I was setting the sale price. And the last one here, and I will show you how it will appear as a checkbox, as a drop-down list on the T-shirt page as soon as we save changes here and save changes here. It should be updated on the T-shirt here. Here we go. And now we can choose red one, out of stock, because we haven't changed that. But again, this is how you can do that in just a couple of clicks.
Excellent. And Janine had asked a similar question about variations of a downloadable, and I see that you can add those attributes or variations for downloadables as well. So great. I think that covers that questions as well.
Okay.
Two quick ones to bring us home for the day. And just to clarify on the payments question, Dennis, correct me if I'm wrong, because there were a couple questions about it. WooCommerce doesn't charge a specific fee per transaction. That depends on the payment and shipping gateways, correct?
That is correct.
It's all, the WooCommerce fee is based on the plan, the business plan that you're on. Correct.
That is correct. Yeah. Okay. So it depends on the gateways that you have active and the shipment. Others that you, for example, you can connect the USPS and others that will be live rates there available as well. So that will be handled through that specific shipment method. If you're handling everything yourself, there's basically no fee unless you use a specific payment method. Again, if you accept cash on delivery, there is no fee. You receive cash on delivery from the user, and that's it.
Great. And two quick ones to close this off. Tara asked, can you use Stripe and PayPal, for example, at the same time, multiple payment options?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you need to do that because, again, you have to give users options that they prefer. So if it is the case for you, you can activate PayPal, you can activate Stripe. The only thing that you would need to do is to actually go through the setup of each of those. But the best part, and I haven't shown that, but this is a good way to show it. If I go to PayPal, I can set up things here, but the most important part is that I can enable sandbox. So basically, I can test my payment flow on my store without actually making a purchase. So it's just a matter of setting up a few things. But again, the links are here, so you can enable sandbox. For Stripe, you can enable the testing mode. So this is another thing that you could do. So definitely activate and try the methods that work best for you, and then leave them for the users, of course, to choose from.
Great advice, great advice. And last question, this is a fun one to end on because it has to do with what happens when you make a sale on your site, which is of course always exciting, especially when you're getting started. Andrew asks, can you explain notifications? What happens when someone checks out? Can you get a notification, an email, a text, etc.?
Yes. So that is a great question. So you've seen that the order notification will go through here, but the actual emails will also go into your inbox, and you can see what emails are sent through here. So you do have some of them already enabled by default. So new order, you will be notified, and it will go to the owner of the site, and the rest of the notifications will go to the customer, and you can click on those. It will not show you exactly how they look like, but you can sort of like get a feel from the template. Again, it's a little bit of a hacky way to see that, so it's best to maybe test it out as a user first by setting up the payment methods in the testing mode, and then you can go through those. You can complete the order, see how it goes. Once you, as a site owner, go into orders and change the status of that order, the user will also be notified every time. So if you change to something like canceled order or refunded, which you can also do from here, you can refund the user if something goes wrong or whatever. And that will also trigger a new email notification sent to the user. And if needed, with an additional extension, you would be able to customize how the emails look like as well. So you can change that, but that is in the email section here. So you can manage each of those. For the new order, you can change some of the things that you see here, congratulations on the sale and other things, and you can decide what you want to include and what not.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Dennis. For those who ask questions that we haven't answered yet, we will follow up as we share out the webinar later today or tomorrow. We'll have a link to the Q&A. It was a really good, really lively Q&A. Lots of good questions were asked. Huge thanks to Fernando behind the scenes, furiously answering questions about WooCommerce. Really customizable, really flexible way to add e-commerce or to launch an e-commerce website. And there's a lot of good questions that go along with that to get us started. But Dennis, can't thank you enough for walking us through it today. And
absolutely, my pleasure.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And we want to, again, encourage everyone, look for your email later on, take the survey. You can watch this webinar again. You can register for the additional webinars that we'll be offering tomorrow in Spanish, and then starting over again on Monday. So we will be doing, again, WooCommerce next Thursday, for example. We look forward to seeing you all. Great feedback came in from Robin. She said, not a question, but an endorsement. And this isn't about me, but rather Dennis and Fernando, so I thought I'd share it. I've needed to chat with happiness engineers several times in recent months as I revised my site substantially. Each time the support team was 100% on point. So just a huge thanks to Dennis and Fernando and our awesome team of happiness engineers that are helping our users and our customers day in and day out. And with that, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks again, Dennis, and we'll see you all again very soon.
My pleasure. Thank you.